George Lucas murders someone.
Murders.
You want the original cut? Well, this is what I'll do to you.
GL, baby.
What the? Oh, god dang it, son of a bitch. If I find out who wrote this prompt, I'm going to find you. I am going to find you, and I'm going to hurt you. Not really. I was just trying to be funny. Talk about a movie that has been through absolute developmental hell. Because I remember when this film was announced, they had the idea to, have this be a part of the Snyderverse. And then when Zack Snyder was ousted, they decided, okay, let's keep the Flash movie in mind, but let's not really do anything with it. And it took, I think, 6 years for them to finally pull the trigger on this. Contrary to what people think, I watched the Snyder cut of Justice League, and it's a better cut of it's a better movie. It is a better movie than the Justice League that we got. And I know there's people out there saying restore the Snyderverse, and I don't think WB is going to relent. I really don't. I don't think WB is going to relent, and I think WB is going to just basically say, nah, we're just gonna make these films and not really concentrate on doing like a overarching universe anymore, really. Which is kind of sad, but at the same time, I understand. I mean, I understand it entirely. And
well, for one thing, Batfleck is the Batman in the Snyderverse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the new Batman looks a lot better.
Here's what I'll say. His version of Batman, I could see working, but at the same time, when Ben Affleck stepped out of the director's role for the Batman solo movie and gave up creative control and everything, I think he was ousted by WB. I'm not 100% sure on that. But when that happened, yeah, it basically threw a big monkey wrench in like Ben Affleck's future as Batman. And now there's renewed interest in it after the Snyder cut, and I gotta be honest, I can see it. Because during the production, I think during the production of the original Justice League, whenever the Justice League movie, it was basically he was in a very bad place emotionally. I think at that point, he was still like drinking heavily and just like upset over the fact of him and his wife getting a divorce and all that. But then I think eventually he got better, and then when they filmed new scenes of him for the Snyder cut, he looked renewed. He looked like he was in a much better mental state, and which is good.
I don't think it's a bad idea that like if they have the creative forces available for multiple different things to honestly not confine themselves to a single universe across like the DC films that they make. Like, what's the problem with there being like two different continuations of Batman at the same time?
No, I'm not against it either. I think it could be. I think it actually could be
maybe
pretty cool.
The Batman is just going to be a one-off, and maybe it'll be really good, but they'll just decide not to do anything more.
Well, they've already signed on to do more, and if the movie makes money, they're going to fast track the productions of the next Robert Pattinson Batman movie. Now, whether or not Matt Reeves comes back as director, I'm not sure, because apparently he had issues with Robert Pattinson over the whole like production being shut down. But again, we talked about that in the previous one. But this film is one that a lot of people never thought would be made because of the Snyderverse basically being like put to the side, and now we're moving on into solo stuff. And the fact they got Ezra Kramer back to play Flash, I'm not against. I thought he was actually like pretty good in a lot of scenes in Justice League, but him having a full movie, I'm not sure how 100% how that would go. You would have to really get good directors and slash screenwriters who could write good lines and make it to where he's able to, he's able to take full advantage of the Flash character. But I guess we'll see. So we got the Flash first look teaser trailer here. Let's go ahead and give it a watch and let's see what's up. Here we go.
Greetings, DC fandom and domers.
Nice choker.
Ezra Miller here, live from the set of The Flash. It looks like this. We're very excited to show you the movie.
Doesn't look like much from this focus.
And we can't yet because we're still making it. We wanted to show you a teaser, but we can't because we don't have enough material to make a teaser yet. We can't make a trailer. But we do have this small sneak peek that my maestro Andy and I have put together that we really hope you'll enjoy. And I will see you in theaters later next year, or more importantly, you will see me.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere you want, right? Any timeline, any universe.
Mostly. Ooh. I like that.
Why do you want to stay and fight to save this one? You changed the future. And you changed the past.
Very nice.
Are you in?
Wait. What? That's it?
Which Batman?
I don't know.
So the Holy!
I think so. Okay, and another thing as well with this is that I've heard that is actually. Let me look at the shape of the Batmobile. I'm not sure if that's Robert Pattinson's, or I've heard people say this is actually Michael Keaton's Batman, and that they've gone to his universe, and basically he's old Batman. I am not against Michael Keaton coming back in some fashion as Batman. I'm not against it.
Makes sense as to why they're not showing his face at all.
Yeah, because
it's like, it's the very prominent, like, cowl, like
very like the
it's on the top. And
the very
like,
pointy ears, the very hardline silhouette of the cowl.
That would be pretty crazy.
I would be like, I'd be out of my gourd. I wouldn't know what to think. But interestingly enough, I remember when Phil Lord and Chris Miller were attached to this film, and I think they wrote like 3 or 4 different scripts for it. They just kept updating the script. But then eventually, Lord and Miller left the project to go on to do other things because I think it'd been in developmental hell at that point for 4 years. So, and then they hired Andy Muschietti, who is the director of the It films, to helm the Flash movie. And I'm interested to see how Andy Muschietti is going to handle this. But anyway, I'm interested to see how Ezra Kramer is going to handle the full Flash. Also, we had a bunch of alternate Flashes here, which this looks like if this is Barry Allen,
looks so much like Samus's screw attack, just with an extra squiggle in
yeah, with the extra elbow in it.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is Wally West, because this looks like this is both Ezra Kramer. There's 2 Barry Allens here. This one is the Barry Allen that we're getting for this film. I wonder if this is the Barry Allen from Snyderverse? I'm wondering. I don't know. This is all like conjecture right now. This is all just me seeing this and being like, ooh. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard much of anything about this, so what we see is what I know, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to add to it.
Not to mention, I'm not really super up to date on like all of my Flash mythology and stuff either. So, like,
That's fine.
Out of DC, like the Flash is one of the ones that I know probably the least about.
And that's fair.
So,
That's fair.
Batman is my wheelhouse in terms of my DC fandom. I know the most about Batman. I probably know the second most about Green Lantern because my bro Andrew is a big Green Lantern fan and has told me a whole lot about the
same
different
thing with
Lantern
Manuel.
colors and
My buddy Manuel,
stuff
that's
like
all
that.
he talks about.
And then I know okay amounts about Aquaman and Wonder Woman and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But the Flash, I know he's fast.
Well, if you know the Flash and like the Speed Force and what he's capable of, like when he's fully tapped into it, it's actually terrifying. He's actually one of the more powerful DC characters, rivaling that of Superman, if not more powerful in certain.
Being so fast that people can't follow your movements certainly helps.
Well, no, it's not just the fact that people can't follow your movements. It's the fact that he's so fast, he can literally pierce through space and time. When you're that fast, yeah, and you can literally move to the edge of the galaxy just like by going so fast, you with the Speed Force, you literally pierce space and time and go to the edge of the galaxy, or you go to a different dimension altogether. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the whole thing with the Flashpoint paradox, which was one of the best Flash storylines ever. Like Barry creates alternate pocket dimensions that basically all the worst case scenarios happen. Like instead of like Bruce Wayne, for instance, there was one that was like one of the harshest ones. It was the one where Bruce Wayne did not survive like the shooting in Crime Alley, and it was not only him but also both of his parents died too. So yeah, basically a world without Batman. That's one of the worst. Like that's one of the worst timelines. And then there's another one where Bruce is the one that was killed, and Thomas and Martha both survived. Thomas became the new Batman, and Martha became the Joker. And that one was pretty dark too. But there was also several involving like the Joker actually being the hero and Batman becoming the villain, which that was a weird one. There's a bunch of weird like alternate Earths that they could potentially go to. There's
also the whole like villain theory that they've dropped on Batman a few times. It's like, are you sure that Gotham would be as bad as it is if it weren't for you, basically, you know?
Heard that too.
Like, sure, like, you know, there was a lot of crime before he decided to start kicking some ass, but were all the supervillains gonna come out and just turn the place into a dystopian horror show anyways if he wasn't there? Or
maybe
did they up their game because of him and what they were up against, you know?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, everyone talks about that the paradigm or the paradox of Batman's existence. You know, is it a detriment or is it a benefit? I've heard that before too, and I love that one.
I kind of like to think of it as like, I feel like those dudes would have showed up either way, you know?
Oh, I think so too.
I think that he's there for the better, and that's just a mind game they try to play with him, but
like,
you never know.
There's like potentially, it depends on also the timeline. Again, there's a lot to talk about with that, but we're out of time right now. So this was the Flash first look teaser trailer from the DC Fandom. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And until then, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
We'll see everybody. Peace out.